Hey everybody, we are back with another artist you should know, and this time it's Dave Law. My name's Wes.
My name's Chris.
And we are
Last Bastion Studios.
Okay, so Chris, you know I've been on this Dave Law kick for quite a while. I think he's a phenomenal artist. I like the way he works. I like his figures. I like his layouts.
Yeah.
I like what he does, and I think he's one of those dudes that people need to be paying a lot more attention to. I think he's going to start... I mean, he's already doing great stuff, but I think I think he could blow up and do a lot of crazy, awesome shit.
Yeah.
So he's definitely somebody to watch now and start getting his stuff now. But beyond that, he does really cool shit, so definitely get his stuff. Anyways, this is just a small collection of some of the things that he does. He's actually quite prolific and works fairly quickly, man. So we've worked with him a couple times, and we've got tentative plans to do some future work together.
Yeah.
But he's, like I said, he's very talented. He works in multiple mediums, and he's quite prolific. So as you can see, this is a lot of comic material for a very short span of time. It's
so this looks like
a
it's
comic page.
2017. This one is...
This one...
They're all fairly recent.
This
like
is
within
20... This is 20... I think this came out in 2021. But yeah, these are all fairly recent.
Yeah, the last couple years.
So the most recent one, we'll get to this one in a moment, but I want to take a look at Wrong Magnetic Poles first.
Okay.
So Wrong Magnetic Poles is, I think, a great example of seeing Dave work in multiple mediums.
Yeah.
So this is sort of a jam comic. He works with Chris Kaliza a lot.
Yeah,
He's also
I
the
see
writer
his name.
of Space Odditorium. And he works with Philip Ginn a lot. Philip Ginn actually, I believe, did the inking on Wolf Punks. But I believe this is just like his crew of artists that he works with. And it starts off, this one's written by Chris Kaliza, and it's sort of a collective story about a band, this Wrong Magnetic Poles band. And so these are, again, like I said, a jam comic. So
Yeah.
there's one story by one artist. And then... Sorry, guys, we're not here for you. We're here for Dave. Not that I don't love it. It's great. We're here for Dave, though.
Yeah.
So you get to Dave. And so, again, he starts with pencil and ink and does that, but he mixes in these very collage digital elements.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
And he also works with a lot of like watercolor and various things. So there's a lot of mixed media going on each page that he does. And like, again, right here. So this
is kind of crazy, man.
Exactly. Just in these two pages right here, there's so much that I love. So again, this 3D effect that he's got going on with this digital collage over the top is fun. I love all of a sudden this violent bursting and like the speed lines. He's also, if I'm not mistaken, he does most of his own lettering. Like unless he's working on a project where he's specifically not doing the lettering, he does a lot of his lettering. So all of this, I believe,
It's all him. Yeah. I do like that it's almost from character to character that they have their own like style unto itself. So like this is like she's more like the more modern day kind of Marvel-esque line work. Well, he's got some more deeper,
digital
darker
textures and stuff like that. And then again,
then like this other craziness going on.
There's so much depth just right in here. And then again, this digital guitar, this digital collage guitar,
and this looks like it could be just markers that he did.
We'll see another example of him working with markers and stuff later. But
what?
Like I'm telling you,
what is this?
And we're gonna get to a lot of more interesting, crazy stuff that he does. Stick
my head in it.
Yeah, so these are just some of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of Dave Law. I'm like on Dave Law and a big fan of his. He actually does a lot of things on Reddit where he opens up like, hey, who should I do who should I do next?
Yeah.
And he's been on a run of X-Men characters because that seems to be what's winning out.
I do. Sorry, just to go back to this page. It's just like the real photos of like the real shoe sole. And it's like, why did you put that there? It does draw me in. It does be like, wait, why is that the most realistic looking?
Because it adds this crazy depth to it.
He draws me in.
There's so much depth. Like all of this right in here, you get the like time transition,
smoky layers. That's pretty cool.
To again,
and then this almost looks like graffiti pen art. This is cool.
I love the jumping guitar strum. So that's his cut of Wrong Magnetic Poles. Again, Philip, Jen, I love the stuff. I love everything that they do. These guys are all really, really, really talented artists. So if you're a fan of any one of them or you don't know about any one of them, this is a great one to pick up to sort of get introduced to sort of this crew and this group of guys.
And it's Wrong Magnetic Poles.
Yeah, Wrong Magnetic Poles. Yeah. Next one, let's talk about Wolf Punks, which is Dave Law worked with this writer, Garrett Benningfield, and I believe Philip Jin did the inkings on this. But this is a fun one. This is black, white, and red. This whole thing is black, white, and red. And the concept is it's like the future, and it's sort of like a werewolf society now. And these guys are
I do like that vehicle that's on there. That's great.
There's a lot of
design.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool stuff. But they get indebted to like a wolf gangster and have to do
just right off the bat. Very horror, lots of great line work, shading.
And and again, like I said, it's got to be, pencils and lettering, Dave, Philip doing the inks and reds.
Nice.
And they're a killer combination on this with this black, white, and red. I love Dave's work. He does great monsters. He does great people. He does great female figures, which are not easy to do. But he's wonderful. So 2083, it's the future. It's like a dominant wolf society. And these people are indebted to sort of like this wolf gangster. And they have to do this job. And obviously
just one last job.
Things go awry. Things go sour. What have you, but it's a fun read. It's a great one-off standalone, and it's also open to possibilities of return and visiting some of these characters again.
That's awesome.
But either way, it's a fun style, and this black, white, and red is super impactful. So mega props to Philip Jen on this one. But again, Dave's good with female figures. He's good with these like young looking characters. He's good with these horror elements. And this one doesn't really do as much of the mixed media. You're not getting as much of those digital elements. You're not getting in much of those collage elements. So Dave can work in a whole wide range of styles.
Even though he's not doing all those like, crazy elements and like different media, it's still got a lot going on in each individual panel.
Yeah, and look at this depth and these angles and stuff that he's clearly not afraid to try in any way, shape, or form, which I really appreciate. And again, he can do violence and sweeping motion. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very, very cool. What's this one called again?
This one's Wolf Punks.
Wolf Punks!
Yeah, so this one, I highly recommend picking this one up. This one is available on Garrett's website. I believe you can get to it through his Instagram. I'll be sure to link some stuff in the descriptions below for anybody interested in picking up some of these things. This is kind of a fun
Teen Wolf punks.
You know, yes. So, and like the Thundercats t-shirt and stuff. So I highly recommend that.
That's a lot of fun.
Let's check out one that Dave does with another one of the people on Wrong Magnetic Poles, Chris Kaliza, Space Odditorium. I believe they actually have some more. They have new issues coming out soon.
So these aren't the only two.
No, well, these are the only two right now, but Dave is currently working on story and art for new ones. I see it. Awesome. I see it on the pages, and because I've read these, I know the characters, and I'm always messaging him like, I know who that is, and he's like, yep, you got it right. So
Space
Odditorium, and I believe what they did is they released them in short chapters, like short 12 or 15 page chapters, and I believe they were originally available online, and I think they might just still be on Comicology, and then they're collected in these 55 page 60 page chunks right here.
Rad.
But again, so right away look at all the different elements you're working in. You've got these references to all these, to Full House, obviously. This is a wild story in which basically aliens have taken over the Earth, but they took it over like in the 90s, so all sort of television stopped at like a certain point in the 90s, and they sort of try to program these people into sort of submission with that television. And this character, Major Trauma, is a contestant on the show Tube Ways. It's sort of like almost like a Running Man death show in the future, and she's like one of the most successful people. So
I'm just that good.
She's kind of nuts, and she's sort of haunted by these visions of
Is that Bob Saget?
Basically, like versions of the Tanner family.
Oh my God.
Again, you get all these great angles and all this stuff. The lettering, I believe, is Dave Law. So, like, that was one individual chunk. And so this moves
that actually makes sense.
Yeah, this moves into the second individual chunk, you know? And so, all the different motions. You've got different panel layouts.
Dude, I love these angles.
Tons of great angles. He can do robotic-looking stuff. He can do fine pencil work within the art, as well as very simple like ink lines, and you know, another very well thought out artist in his compositions and everything that he's doing.
I do like the juxtaposition of the old Full House characters as pencil, like it's the old, you know, medium, and now she's in the future just going crazy throwing up on them. And
then even the change in lettering. You know? And he does that a lot. He will change lettering for the different characters, the different figures. He goes from like a very pencil-looking style to a very digital-looking style. He's just definitely, again, a man of many talents. And I respect that. I mean, I respect people who are just, say, a master of one. You know, but Dave is clearly still pushing the envelope.
Pretty awesome when you bring it all together like this.
Yeah, bringing it all together in really what is kind of a fun and banana story.
This is definitely a trip out right here. I love this.
Yeah, he does a lot of these like very optical illusion looking, you know, elements, and he's working more of these digital elements in here. These just
boom. Whoa.
From this to this.
It's like tilt shift going on back here.
Yep.
Really cool.
Fun style poster. So, and this is also kind of a neat evolution of Dave's sort of style and comfort with these characters, because, you know, these are done over time, right?
Yeah.
And I love this sumo guy. He's also a really fun character, but he's another contestant in this Tube Ways. But this whole series revolves around Tube Ways and Major Trauma and what's happening. Like, again, look at these elements.
The Fifth Element. Yeah, I definitely dig it. And it's not like formulaic designs on some of this stuff.
No, there's nothing formulaic about these comics at all. Like
every little
formulaic
panel
about the story. There's nothing formulaic about the art.
Yes,
you know,
awesome. Face as the house.
Dave is definitely not cribbing pages or anything from anybody. You know, like he's his own unique force on the page, and I love it. Remember the Tanner family?
It's so good.
They come back in these sort of different forms, and you know, all these characters, and take her to the mall to like torment her.
Oh my god!
You know,
this thing is crazy.
Trying to get her back in the line and everything. So yeah, it's very fun comic. Awesome stuff. But I highly recommend people pick it up, check it out. But another thing Dave has done is he's also done a little work for us. He did these very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sketch covers for me. I at one point considered selling them or making them a reward in a Kickstarter or something.
Can't let these go.
No, God no. These are being framed and put in put into my collection. So this was the first sketch cover that he did for me, and I love this one. So this is representative of a scene that's in the comic. It's actually in the first couple pages. So it's representative of this scene where the SWAT team is rushed in and they're all standing around.
It's that moment where it's like, oh shit.
And he even took like that sentence to throw it on there, the "come on then, you bastards." So I love it. He pulled in the SWAT team. There's a little video on his Instagram where you can see that he pulls out like this little sort of almost look like Lego looking figure to just,
oh really?
Yeah, it's a very simple sort of like
measuring tool, or
it's like helping him get the angles. It's almost like a connect a figure thing, and it's helping him get the angles so he can figure out this guy and do all that. But he did that one, and then he also did this one, which again is representative of one of the early scenes in the comic. And here you can see he's working in watercolor, he's working in marker, he's even hit it with like some dots of white out and things like that.
I like it a lot, and I love these subtle colors too.
Yep. And he was also kind enough to contribute a pretty kick-ass pinup.
Oh, that is so cool
as well. And he did one of Lisa. Lisa's not in this one, but I'm sure I will include her in the next one.
Very cool.
So, yeah, that is the works
of Mr. Dave
Law. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that you pick up any one of them.
Awesome. It is super cool. Awesome, wild style.